Okay, we're back with football again, and the Gunners were beaten at Villa Park today by Aston Villa, and their healthy lead in the Premier League is about to evaporate. We need to dissect that. Is Mustafa? I'm still
So they
Afolabi.
lead by 5 points over Chelsea. They just drew with Chelsea. Okay. And
Aston Villa has moved to second. It's now 3 points between them
oh
and Aston
yeah,
Villa.
and Chelsea lost. And this was Arsenal's opportunity to spread the lead over all these teams. We know that you're playing in Aston Villa, which is hard. It's very hard to beat people. Aston Villa has won 5 games at home. They've only lost once to Crystal Palace, and they've drawn once. Once again, Arsenal shows that they don't want to win cups. I don't think they want to win the league. Just like 2 or 3 years ago, I think it was 2 years ago when they lost to City, they had a healthy lead. Nobody thought they could lose. Arsenal always finds a way to lose points when they're on the verge to go 8 or 10 points above. Once they get to that 8 point threshold, they start losing points. I watched the game today. They put Eze on the left again, put Zubimendi in the middle. Fabi, we've been saying this before. Put They're almost unbeatable when they have. What happened to Declan Rice? Did he play? They put
Played.
Rice
He
on the
played.
left.
Rice
He
played.
was in the midfield, but he was on the left in the midfield. And they
Yes.
used the Bemende as the no, he played as a central defender, but they used the Bemende as the number 10. Eze should be playing number 10 all the time for that team. Put Martinelli on the left. What happened with Martinelli?
Martinelli started from the bench.
Yeah, this is. I wonder if Arteta works for Man City or he works for Chelsea. You understand what I'm saying? You have a formula that's been working. Eze scored 4 goals when he was a number 10, when he was playing the number 10 position. Then the second game they beat Bayern Munich in Champions League. And then I don't know why he's switching again. He put Eze as a winger. Maybe he's because he's playing Villa, and I know Villa has a different tactic because one of the ways Villa beat them today was by drawing their midfielders out. By Villa using its wingers. They use their wingers and also their. Do they use wing? They use a wing back setup too. Also, they use their wings, whether it's their wing backs or their things, to invert or to make moves to draw the midfielders for Arsenal out and create more space in the midfield for. So I think what they did was they used their flanks to somehow go into the midfield to outnumber Arsenal, and somehow they moved Arsenal's players out of position. So I know that Villa uses good tactics, but there's no reason for Arsenal to be afraid of Villa. Arsenal is supposed to be the best team in the world. So if you're the best team in the world, you don't let another team dictate your strategy. So my argument is that they should have stuck to keeping Eze in the midfield with Declan Rice. Declan Rice plays back closer to the defenders and makes, or if he wants to go forward, but Eze can move even far forward again and then open up the wings, put Odegaard on or Martinelli on the left. I don't know why he didn't do that. Why he's tinkering around with his every week he changes his formations and things like that. You don't have to do that when you're the best team in the world. When you're the best team in the world, play it straight like how you do and let the other team adapt. What are your thoughts? I know Villa plays well and they have good shape, good defensive mid block and everything, but why not go with what you have? If they have a mid block, why can't Eze break down a mid block? He can. What do you think, Afolabi?
Yeah, I quite agree with you. And I'll start with the points that you said.
Yeah.
Arteta likes to tinker. And the most baffling of the decisions he made today was leaving Gyökeres on the bench and adding an additional midfielder in Mikel Merino. There was no cutting edge in the attack. It was after Aston Villa scored that they brought in Gyökeres. I mean, why would you pay so much money and leave Gyökeres on the
Yeah.
bench?
And put Joker there. And once again, I say keep Eze in the central midfield. What do you need Marino for? Or if you want to keep
Exactly.
it,
So
or make Marino the false nine.
yes,
Good.
I don't even feel Merino should play that game. Just play Eze more centrally.
What position did Marino start at? Was he the number 9?
He was a false nine, more or less. He played
Yeah,
as a false nine.
but then you take Eze to the left.
Then you
Eze
take Eze
is
to the
not
left.
effective from the
No, no,
left.
no,
Yeah,
no,
go ahead.
no. If you watch Eze at Crystal Palace, he was more dangerous through the middle. And that's what he
Mm-hmm.
likes to do. He can run, he can shoot from the middle. I think Arteta, sometimes he gets dust in his brain and he knows that he has defensive problems. His top three center backs are injured. Saliba is out injured, Gabriel is injured, and Mosquera. So he had to play a
Oh,
makeshift central
and
defense.
I made a mistake. What they did was they brought they used their wingers to draw the defenders to the midfield. That's what
Okay.
they did.
So
and that made Arsenal's flanks made them susceptible to counterattack.
when you leave out,
He was out coached by Aston Villa.
of course,
Yeah.
without coached by Unai Emery, when you leave out your focal point, your real number nine, Saka just kept crossing the ball into space. There was nobody to attack the ball. He just kept crossing the ball into space.
No,
There was no focal
you know what
point.
it is? Arteta is a pretender. He gets it right sometimes, but it's not through systematic. It's just sometimes the team plays well. I don't think he understands when he wins. I don't think he understands why he won. So he does. You understand what I'm saying? He's winning, but he's
Yeah,
not analyzing why he's winning. Because if you know, because we can look and see why they were winning. They win when they have as the creative spark in the midfield, and also because of Declan Rice. Declan Rice is
yeah.
a very good player. Can you speak to
Yes.
what
In
happened
fact, it was
today?
Declan Rice that made up for the defenders that were absent today. Were it not for
Yeah, so
him, I think
they
Aston
had it.
Villa would have scored more because the defense was all over the place. And mostly this kind of games, Arsenal used to get away by scoring from corner kicks. But when you don't have Saliba and Gabriel, that added effect of scoring from
Oh,
corner
I
kicks is
forgot about
not
that.
there.
So those guys are injured, huh?
That the two of
Man.
them are injured, and Mosquera too is injured. So it was a makeshift center back of Julian Timber and
They might need
Hincapi.
some more depth in
Yeah.
defense. Yeah.
So, and this is an opportunity for other teams. They're going to target their defense. And and like you rightly mentioned, if Arsenal don't have their first 11 players, whenever one or two guys are injured, Arteta doesn't have the tactical acumen to rearrange the team in a way
With
to
that.
win the game, to adapt. So he's not very adaptable. Once the main
Yeah.
guys are out,
And so now Aston Villa is coming second. They're how many points behind three?
3 points. Aston Villa on 30 points. Arsenal is on 33.
And
And
how many
and and
points?
Man City are on 28. If they win now, they'll go to 31. So that's
So
just
this
two
is very close.
points.
So I think the point I'm making now is that it's a long season, and Arsenal had a chance to go ahead by 9 points or whatever, and they blew that opportunity. If March comes and Man City figures out how to solve its problems, and maybe Rodri is fit, or Chelsea figures out how can Chelsea be beating top teams in the world, then they lose to small boys. Chelsea and Man City have been unsteady, but if they become stable, this is going to be a big fight for Arsenal. Arsenal
Mm,
can't afford to drop these points. To
mm.
drop 94th minute, that was at least 1 point. Now they get 0 points. They've dropped 3 points. They can't get these points back. They can
No,
never get them back.
no,
What are your
no,
last thoughts?
no. And like you said, Unai Emery actually outcoached Arteta because I read that they actually beat Arsenal too last season. So it's the second time in successive
He knows how to
seasons.
do it. And I think he
so,
did it the
so
season before, that year after Arsenal drew with they
yeah,
drew with
he always has a measure. So he's like Arsenal's kryptonite, more or less.
yeah, sort of like mongoose can kill a snake. Yeah.
Yeah,
All
sure.
right.